Problem 4-60. In this one, we're given a graph down here of 3 different lines, each one being a pattern, and we have a few questions to answer. So let's start with part A. So it'll be 4-60A. And it just asks, what do we know about figure 0 for each of these 3 patterns? And if you remember, figure 0 is that starting point. We've called it B, or the intercept. And it's just where it starts on the y-axis. So if we look here, A, if we follow down, goes all the way to the origin, which is 0, 0. So we know that A, figure 0, has 0 tiles. C also starts in that same location. So figure 0 for C has 0 tiles. But B, it starts way up here at 30. So we know that figure 0 for B has 30 tiles. And you might want to write a bit more than what I did right here to make it clear. Next question is B. And so it just asks which pattern changes the quickest and how quickly it changes. I was going to show how we know it. So if you draw out, some slope triangles might be helpful here. So we want to see how much each of these change for every 1 in the x that they change. So for example, A down here, when we move across 1, it looks like we go up about, it looks about 4. But we know A isn't the answer because right here we see C, which is quite clearly a steeper line than A. And the steeper the line, the quicker it grows. So it looks like C changes when we move 1 in the x, it changes by about 10. So now we need to see if it changes faster or slower than B. And it's a little bit less clear with B and C because B has a negative change. So you can't just look at it quite so clearly. But if we look at B and see how much it changes in 1, go across 1 and down, it looks like it goes from about 30 down to 25. So B changes by 5, similar to what A is changing by, but C looks like it changes by 10. So the answer is C is quickest. It has the most change, and it changes by 10 tiles for each x. And if you're drawing this graph, you can do some slope triangles to show how we found that. Alright, next one is going to be part C. Which figure number has the same number of tiles in patterns B and C? Explain how we know. So it's asking us which figure number, so which one of the x, has the same number of tiles in B and C. So the number of tiles is the y. So really we're looking for where B and C has the same y value, the same number of tiles. So if we look here, there's a little dotted line to help us find it. Both B and C cross right here. And so because they cross paths like that, we know that they have the same value at that point, which is 20. So we know B and C both have 20 tiles at the same time. And if we go down here, it looks like that is going to be figure number 2, where both B has 20 tiles and C also has 20 tiles. So for C, it's going to be figure 2. Of course, you'll have to write a little bit of an explanation for that one. And finally, part D, we just want to write a rule for pattern B. So remember, all the rules will always have the form y equals mx plus b, and we just want to try to find m and b. So let's have a look. M and b. So if we look at this graph, we can find b by looking at where it intersects the y-axis. So as we said before, figure 0, that's going to be up here at 30. So b will be 30. M, on the other hand, is how much it changes in terms how much the y changes for each x, or how many tiles are being added or removed in this case. So once again, we go along 1 on the x, and we come down to about 25 on the y. And if we go down another x, so it's 2, we're now down at 20. So each time it's changing by 5 tiles, but it's decreasing by 5 tiles. So we know m is going to be -5, the negative being because it's decreasing. So the rule is going to end up looking like y equals -5x plus 30.